Hello. Okay, so it is me. It is Linda, Lady and the Frogs. So yeah, I am alive. I know that, well, I mean, it's not like I've had any like messages saying, "Are you okay?" Because I don't get those type of messages. I'm not the popular one. Right, so it's morning. It's coffee. This is like the first relaxed morning I've had in 4 days. So the last thing that you saw from me was me banging on about my back of my calf and not getting a doctor's appointment. I didn't. I got an appointment with the nurse in the end. The nurse, which I take everything that she says with a pinch of salt, because she changed my medication last year and I was very ill because of it, and I don't entirely trust her. So she told me that the pain I had in the back of my calf was something called plantar tendonitis or something. I don't know, something like that. Just sounded like nonsense to me. She said I had to come in and see the physio, and I says, well, so this was last week, and I says, I'm starting a new job next week, so I don't know what my schedule is, and I wasn't prepared to spend more time going backwards and forwards to this stupid doctor's surgery, because it blew last week for me, because I wasted 2 days fiddling around trying to get a doctor's appointment. You know, and then firing off an email complaining to them because I was angry and I just wanted to blow off some steam, you know, and I've had a response from them, which is just nonsense. They don't care about sorting their shit out. So if you do move to Manchester and you're wondering why there's a doctor's surgery on Deansgate, it's my doctor's surgery, because they're going to put a new one in. They can't even get right what they've got, and now they're going to put one on Deansgate. So anyway, this week, so last week I had this agonising pain, and then I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to ignore it, because blow this. And I ended up doing a lot of walking. I did a lot of walking, but Jason had the car actually, so I had to. I went and did a bit of sourcing, so I just worked through the pain, because I was just thinking, this is going to be really annoying next week. And then I did all this walking, sourcing and the rest of it, so I must have like racked up about 5 miles of walking, and then the pain sort of just subsided. So I don't really know what that was about. I have spoken to, I texted my friend who is a physio, and she says, well, it can't possibly be what she said it is, because you would have pain in your heel, not your calf. But anyway, this week I've started my new job. So I'm working in a shop. I don't know if I dare tell you what shop, because you just think I'm shady. Because it's a shop that I go in all the time, and you know that I go in there all the time, and you know, any hauls that I do after this, you're just saying, oh well, you know, you get first dibs on it. And I didn't want to say where I was working, because I just thought, well, I don't know how it's going to be, and you guys will probably think I'm weird. Well, the upshot of it this week, so I'm working at the charity shop that I go to all the time, the big charity shop, because they were struggling, and I did chat to the manager there, and she was struggling to get staff, so I just put my name in the hat and got the job, this part-time job. So because of conflict of interest, I have not been sourcing there. I have to source what's been put on the shop floor after the customers have had an opportunity to look at it. So this week is killed sourcing, because I can't do it in the morning, and I can't do it. Well, I have done it. I've been absolutely shattered. I have looked, but I've seen most of the really good stuff being picked up by customers, so that's been quite frustrating. But you know, my feelings were, when I thought, you know, I like this place, so I'll go for this job. My feelings is that I'm going to try, and people always talk about niching down, or niching down if you're an American, but niching down. And I was just thinking, I do kind of like the Lego thing, and it's more of an easy seller. I'm looking over here because I've got loads of Lego on the floor. So I may well try and move into the Lego and just pick off the cream when I'm sourcing, because clothing does my head in a fair bit. So anyway, I've started work this week and wow. So I'm only doing 5 hours a day. I'm doing 20 hours a week. So this week I've worked Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Today is Friday morning. So today is my day off. And then I'm going to be working Saturday and Sunday. So I don't know if this is like a baptism of fire just because I'm learning it. I've never used a till in my life. And now I've been like, on the Wednesday and Thursday, I was serving people all day. So, you know, I've got the crack of it, more or less. It surprises me how many people do returns at charity shops. I mean, most people say, I would never return things to charity shop. Doing a return is something that I have had to learn. So anyway, the thing that I have noticed is how damn unfit I actually am. So that was another of my motivations with going to work, in that I knew that I wasn't doing as much walking as I used to do. So I'm walking there and back, so that's 2 miles. I haven't been taking the car because literally if I take the car, I'm literally in both lots of school traffic, because the hours that I've been doing, I'm doing afternoons and sort of, you know, like to 7 o'clock on Saturday, and I think there'll probably be a few of those shifts, but generally I've been in the mornings doing 5 hours. So my feet are hurting. I got a pair of these Arch Fit Skechers trainers, which I went to the outlet for, and they still cost £75. My husband bought them for me because I'm going to be on my feet all day, so I'll get some of them. And so my feet are hurting even though I've been wearing them. So I mean, God knows what I'd be like if I was actually wearing my flats. But I've been okay. But every muscle in my body has woken up. Because obviously I'm taking the new rails of clothes that come off, I'm taking them and I'm putting them out. That's part of the job. And sort of like rotating stuff, because you know what it's like when some of these charity shops that you can't move the stuff. So I have to sort of rotate the stuff in that way. So every muscle, my core muscles have sort of woken up here. I can feel everything here. I can feel, you know, the back of the thighs. I'm literally feeling everything. But this is part of my motivation as well, because I am 12 stone now. So what are we on? Start of 2023. So for perspective, 2015 was when I got married, and the job that I was in prior, the project that I was on, because construction, you move from project to project. That project, I was going down to Stafford and I was walking a lot because the office was quite big, and I was walking around there, and that's when I was a size 8. But I've always hovered around 10 stone. Currently, I am bordering on a size 16. I'm definitely a size 14, if not a size 16. And I am 12 stone. So you can't, everybody blames lockdown for their weight, but mine started creeping on when I stopped working, because I used to walk literally at least 2 miles a day to and from work, and then I used to sort of like walk around the office and do like things, and you know, just the general things, but I was sitting all day. But even when I was doing that, my weight was always around 10 stone, you know, just probably like a little bit over 10 stone, but that was sort of like the weight that I'd found in my 30s. And then In my 20s, I was 9 stone, but I don't think anybody's ever going to go back to 9 stone. So I know I'm 12 stone now, so I'm going to see what happens. But I see I have problem areas. I have this, which I never used to have. Admittedly, I did used to have a classic car, which I did sell because of desperation. And classic cars don't have power steering. So I honestly think that I think that bingo wings became a big thing when power steering came in, because when I didn't have power steering, you know, and it does give your upper body a decent workout. I do think it makes a difference. I definitely noticed losing strength in my upper arms when I got a modern car. And I feel like I even have bingo wings on my thighs. So I'm going to see if things start tightening up. I'm hoping that they will start tightening up, because I have definitely felt it this week. I've enjoyed the job. It's been great, and the people are nice. I knew the people were nice because obviously I chat to them a fair bit. I like the charity. And it's nice to be doing something, and it's nice to be out there. So it is going to do me the world of good. I hope it makes a difference with my asthma and my just general well-being. Getting up and going somewhere 4 days a week. Yeah, so my muscles do feel it, but it just proves that sitting around here, and even on the days when I'm like doing photography and the rest of it, and the reason why I sweat like a hooded rapist when I do my hoovering is because I'm carrying weight that doesn't need to be there. So this is where we are. I'm 12 stone this week. When I've did my first day and I realised how much I was aching, I did weigh myself, so I know where I am. So I'm going to see. I don't think it's so much the weight. It's the flab that I'm carrying. The flab, you know, which you can sort of like test. So I'm going to see that. And as I say, that's just me just now talking about how unfit I am. But yeah, the job is great. I'm sort of learning it. And I know that you guys will probably drop in now and see me. But like I say, sourcing. So yesterday, when I'm finishing, I'm having to sort of like speed back here to do my post. That's one of the other issues why I can't sort of like, my feelings were is that, oh, well, I'll do some sourcing after I finish work. But that hasn't really happened because I'm like, I've got to go back and I've got to post things. On the Tuesday, I only had one thing that I needed to post. I had Monday off. I didn't start on the Monday, which was quite good. And I'm hoping that I am going forward. Mondays aren't going to be my day in. But I did have like 11 parcels on Monday, so I just took them, and then I only had like one really small one on Tuesday morning. So I just thought, well, I'll go to the post office on the way there, because there's a post office as part of a shop, which I'd talked about before, which I'd discovered, and I have been using it, but admittedly I've been using it in the middle of the day or at like 10 o'clock when I've been walking over to this chasser. So I've been going over there, and I went there and it was 9:05 when I got there. So I started at 9:30, and the girl was nowhere in sight. So, and the guy who's a bit dense, he was like, oh, she will be here in a minute. And I'm like, well, so what, is she in the building? No, she is on her way. And I'm like, well, I'm going, I've got to go to work. So that didn't work out. I was hoping, you see, that I could just drop my post off in the morning and that would be great, and then I'd just get to work and get on with it. So the theory is that would work great, but it doesn't, because these bloody post office counters in shops, they love the theory of it, and it's all like a novelty initially when they first get it, but then it's never open when you need it. Because when I was working before, I was selling things on eBay because I was still clearing out a lot of my brother's stuff. And I was like, when I sell stuff, I can just drop it off, because they were supposed to be open until 8 o'clock. Where they by the time I used to get there, I used to get there at like 5:30 after I'd come from work with my post. And they'd be like, no, we're not open. And it was just, that became a farce. So that just became something that I didn't you know, that just didn't help. And you see, that's the thing, is the times that I've been at these post office counters before waiting, I know how long it takes for those systems, when they actually turn it on, for it to connect to Royal Mail and the rest of it. That's not like a quick, you know, switch on and reset and it's all on. It takes about 10 minutes. So that was my hope, but that was blown on the first day. So I'm generally doing my post in the evenings and then taking it. So Wednesday was a no sales day, so I didn't have to do anything on Thursday. So after I'd finished work, I just thought I'll do some sourcing, and then I sort of like looking around, and I remember sort of like seeing a few things. They'd been snaffled up. When I used to go sourcing, I used to go sourcing in the mornings because it wasn't so hectic, and it was really hectic after 2:30 when I finish. And I was tired, and I just wanted to get home. So I didn't really do anything. So I'm going to see how it sort of plays out. My feelings is that I'm just going to pick off a few decent things, and I'm going to really try and push myself into becoming a proper vintage Lego seller, because it is where the money is. So, but you see, again, I won't be around for when auctions end necessarily, if I'm working. So we will see. Anyway, I do have stuff which I'm putting in the post today. I have kind of killed my eBay store, because I listed a few, I think I listed 3 things on Monday, which is ridiculous. I can't think what it was that I was doing that got in the way of that. I think it was because I was doing Lego. I've been doing some of my Lego building after work. So there is that. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to have to try and see where I can fit this routine in. I'm wondering if I just have a day, when on the days off, if I do loads of photography of stuff and then I have bits ready, and then if I do drafts in the morning and schedule them, I'm going to have to really start utilising the scheduling. I'm going to be pulling down a whole load of stuff tonight. Today, not tonight. I'm trying to use up my auction allowance, because I've let that slide. So I need to sort out that and have a load of stuff going on auction. I would like to kind of sell through the clothes. I have been kind of letting things go. But saying that, I'm now going to go to Bernardo's. I'm going to take this and then I'm going up to Bernardo's. But then I'm also going to go to the food warehouse and get some tinned goods, stuff like that. So I'm just going to peek in. I mean, they don't open until 10:30. They're a pain in the bum, because I was going to go on Monday, and then I was just like, do you know, I've got stuff I needed to do, and I know that I did crack on Monday, but not enough. So anyway, things that I've sold. I've sold this. Somebody sent me an offer of £17, and I took it. I've had this for a while. I had it on at $29.99 initially, like some crazy person, and then I had it on at $25, and then they sent me this offer, and I said, well, look, you really need to take it. It's had loads of watches, but I've priced it really high because it was 1990s vintage and new look. You know, and it's just ridiculous. Just because something's vintage doesn't mean that it's like gold. Absolute gold. I have sold a pair of chinos. I feel like I've listed them at the wrong colour. They don't half look grey this morning. I put beige on the listing, but they don't half look grey this morning. I thought it was a different thing because I went looking for the wrong thing. Thank goodness for SKU numbers. So those have gone for 25, and then I've accepted an offer last night for this skirt, which I think is very wintry, so I didn't want to like leave it and then have it sat around. It did have a lot of interest initially, so it's midi length, I think, yeah, skirt, corduroy, old label Bowden, and what did I accept for that? I think it was £18. Yeah. And I've screwed it up again. So that's it. That's all I've got there. I've had, like I say, I've had one no sales day. I haven't been, because I've been working, I haven't been listing. So I'm going to do a big mad listing day today. I have got a load of stuff photographed. I've got a load of Lego on the floor, so I'm going to try and get the Lego photographed today. Although 2 of them, that's the actual things. Yeah, so these here are 2 sets which aren't assembled, so I've got to put them together. You see, he's grinning because he loves the Lego. Weird light. Yeah, and another benefit from working, we haven't had the heating on because I haven't been there. So my husband's been out in the morning. I've been out sort of. As long as I'm on no shifts, I'm doing the same sort of work hours that he is, and we're coming back at the sort of the same time. So we're saving money on having the heating off in the day. Not that it's on now. And I'm sitting here in a t-shirt and I'm not that cold. But I'll have it on later when I come back. I just want to have a squiz in Bernardo's and see what's the crack is with there, because I have not been for ages. I meant to go last week, but obviously I was fiddling around with the doctors and then I was annoyed. And I didn't have the car anyway, so I didn't want to go there and find loads of stuff and not be able to carry it back. Anyway, rabbling on. So I'm going to see what I can do with regards to these, and then I'm going to have to think about what I'm going to do with regards to routine. I'm thinking that I may, since my husband gets up at 5 o'clock, I'm thinking maybe I should start getting up in the morning a bit earlier and do some work, because I don't have to leave feasibly until 8:45. So there's no reason why I can't get stuff done in the morning. I just need to find a routine, and then it means that I can actually come home and stop instead of doing things. I can just have an evening and relax. But anyway, I don't know, because I don't know what my shifts are. I'm only just started, but everything's going well so far. Anyway, I'm going to do the post, go to Bernardo's, go to Food Warehouse, get some bits, see what's going on. And yeah, everything is okay with me. Okay, I am back, and it is literally, I got back here at 12. Admittedly, I did sit in the car singing briefly. It's not really singing when it's Daft Punk, is it? That's the soundtrack that I want to run my life by. So I have been, I went to Bernardo's. So it's Bernardo Superstore. Went around the whole shop. And there wasn't even that much there. I can't even say that there was stuff there that I would have picked up, but it was too expensive. It was just rubbish. But then I am being selective, I suppose. So this is the only thing I've got which does need debobbling. And I'm not so sure about this brand. I've seen it before and left it. It has got somebody's dinner down it as well, as you would hope, because the cost of living, we want to eat other people's food residue off their clothes. So £4, House of Brewer. I know a lot of people swear by this, so it's supposedly great. It's just lamb's wool, and I've got to wash it and get the food off it. Fabulous day. I think that's one of the reasons why, there's part of me, and I know that the stuff which is mixed in with Lego is pretty fucking gross. Let's face it, it's all bugs and things, and because a lot of Lego is left in lofts and sheds, and they're the best ones that you can get. I have no idea why this camera is all weird, but the thing is, so standard Lego piece there. The bugs will go in there and you'll see them, and they won't, when I wash it and I soak it, even though, I put the colander and I drain it, and sometimes I even rinse it, they'll crawl in there and you have to just sort of pull them out with tweezers and things. So, I mean, and then you've got the sweet wrappers, you've got the other stuff, and it's like this job lot, which I've got here, fabulous job lot, but it's the stuff which they put in it, like pins and screws and sharp objects and, you know, jagged metal and the rest of it. It's a horrendous thought that somebody could just buy a load of Lego and a job lot. And, you know, and we're talking charities as well who do this. Barnardo's, I mean, Barnardo's are supposed to be looking after children, and they never wash their Lego and they never sort through it. And they've always got jagged metal. So can you imagine if somebody bought, they're like, well, this Barnardo's believe in children. I know this because I've just spent an hour walking around the shop listening to believe in children. Imagine if somebody was to buy that and then just give it straight to a child and it's got all those ropey things in it. You know, at least I'm washing it and I'm sorting it and I'm putting it in the bin. But, you know, the clothing thing, it's nice, but, you know, and it's an easy seller. You know, and the only things I have sold in the last few days are clothes. So I do need it as a backup, but, you know, sometimes you just think. Anyway, for anybody who's interested, since my haul is just a raggedy cardigan that needs debobbling, and I don't know what the resale is for that. I would hope like 25 or 30, and maybe even more, but I doubt it's going to be any more than that. Yeah, I really hoped to get more, but it's just, I like to keep an eye on that Barnardo's, but you know. So the stuff which I went up there for, I went to get groceries. So if you're really interested in a grocery haul, here's a grocery haul. So some of this is from Home Bargains. So these are the bits from Home Bargains. No, I lie. These were 60p from Food Warehouse. For some reason, the bleach that they have at Home Bargains and B&M is really awful now, so I don't get it. Anyway, I've got this. I'm sure this is actually cheaper in B&M, but this was Home Bargains. This was £9.45. For some reason I've only got the credit card receipt. So it's £9.45, but it is for two. Space is a premium at the minute, but you know, two smaller ones isn't so bad. We've actually, because we live in an apartment, I've actually started buying the tubeless toilet roll, which for anybody who doesn't like having tons of toilet roll on display, you know, in the way, I would absolutely recommend that because it is such a space saver. So, you know, there's my recommendation, because the equivalent of 9 rolls is only in 6. They do just fit in your toilet roll, standard toilet roll storage things. But yeah, it just seemed like a better idea, because we can just put them in our toilet roll storage, and then we don't have like loads of like ones sitting around waiting to be able to go into the toilet roll storage before they're even toilet roll storage. This is another recommendation. I've just used one of these up, and it literally lasts us at least 6 months to a year. Absolutely, and it's really nice. I know it is the same one, but it can't possibly be something else, because I've been looking at this for years on end. It smells so nice. I am a sucker for the coconut stuff. So I've got another one of them. £3.50, I think. £3.50 for lasting 6 months to a year is great. Refuge sacks. Because I want to do a charity donation of all the stuff which isn't sold. So that's the intention. I've picked these up. They were £13. I like to go in there and get the trays of Pepsi, because they're trays of Pepsi, which are the equivalent of this, are £11 in Iceland Food Warehouse. But because they're so bargainous, they're never there anymore. They do have them in Tesco, but they charge 13. Or no, maybe 11.50 now. But again, they clear off really quickly. So I've got these ones. These ones I really like, but this will last me for ages because I don't really have that much cherry Coke. But the reason that I will go with this cherry Coke is because it is the old recipe. You probably can't see that, but the reason that I have full fat Coke and the reason that I have this full fat diet, let's go on to the full fat diet. I'm so rewarded. The reason I have this cherry Coke is because it doesn't have aspartame and it doesn't have saccharin in it, both of which I am allergic to. So when the sugar tax came in, I just was so gutted because so many things just had saccharin in, you know, even like cordial. It's not like, you know, I know that this is like sugary and like fatty and the rest of it, but I honestly think that ingesting rat poison, which is what aspartame is I don't think that that's possibly that good for you. So I don't like to do that. So whenever I have it, well, number one, it does affect my asthma, and number two, I get a mad urine infection. So there we go. That's what happens to me without fail, and it's happened to me since I was a kid. So, you know, it's not fluke. I'm just gutted because I can't have Lucozade anymore, and all these other things. Iron Brew, I can't have Iron Brew because they've all just gone with the flow and just put saccharin and everything. Really annoying. So other things I've got, beans. I think they were $3.70 for 6. That isn't brilliant. These were 2 for $1.20. I do like mushy peas with something. And then we've just got pasta bakes. So we've got 4 of them, different flavours. How much were they? Can't remember. I think it was 4 for $4.50. It better be, otherwise I'm unimpressed. This is $3.40 on here. $3.40 discount. Bachelor's cans. $4.50. Yes, $4.50. So there we are. Oh yeah, and I've also got that, which was also from Home Bargains, because one of the things that I seem to have found, although they'll make like coffee for me and they'll bring it to the till and they're really nice like that, you know, it's like just a lovely bunch of people that I'm working with. I know I've sort of like started saying no to the coffee because I know that I'll spill it on the till at one point, because I'm one of these where I'll drink it and I'll forget about it even at home when I'm not doing anything. So at a till when I'm busy, it's not going to happen for me. So I'm drinking my bottle of water and I'm really getting through my bottle of water, but my lips are chapped, you know, as my feet are chapped. So this week I've used hand cream, I've used foot cream, and I've just put Vaseline on my lips again because they're pretty gross. And because I feel like I'm dehydrated. I don't, you know, yeah, it's January weather, but I do feel dehydrated as well. I'm not sweating like a pig at work, but I'm definitely feeling like I need to drink more water. So I've got that to rectify that. So that's going to go in my bag for work. And that's it. I wanted to get soup. That was on the list. But the Gannets had been, and they seem to have got the soup, and the soup is like on a multi-buy thing. So I couldn't get the soup. I think there was something else that I was supposed to get, but I couldn't remember whether I needed chopped tomatoes or plumbed tomatoes. And I think we've got a decent amount of them. So yeah, that's what I've got, and that's why I went up there, and I was quite efficient. Managed to get everything done. Yeah, there were some great unwashed people out and about, so it was quite easy to come back. Gutted about not having much from Bernardo's, but I think I will keep going there because I think, yeah, I'm going to keep an eye out there. And I think the thing is I wasn't that infused because I've been like 3 days working in the charity shop. I wasn't that enthused with like going round looking at stuff, and it is just very pricey in there, but sometimes they have some really good stuff in there, so I need to keep my eye on that like a hawk. Right, so the rest of the day I have got to list all of that, get stuff scheduled. It's 12:30 and I've got to build these Lego sets and take photos of them. Is it light enough to take photos? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. They said on the car radio that it was overcast, but it wouldn't be raining. And the moment they said that, it started raining to the point where my auto windscreen wiper thing activated, so they got that wrong. Yeah, so yeah, I have to get stuff scheduled. I'm planning on having a big photography day on Monday if I can. I'm going to try and get a load of these Lego sets here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sets here. Well, 2 of them are not built, so I've got to do that. Right, so that's my day. I'm going to do that listing. I'm probably going to tie this video up now because it is a long one. A long one just by accident. And so you'll get a Lego video coming up, and you will have a haul video because I do have a load of stuff in there which I'm going to photograph on Monday. So that'll be early next week. Yeah, that's where I am. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my ramble and my update. And I will be back again soon. And I will try and keep up with YouTube regardless of the fact that I'm back in work. I think it's important to show this because I know that my routines have gone out of the window, and that is the stupid thing. So I'm going to tell you on Monday's video, which we recorded, which may well come out on Tuesday, if I've actually managed to schedule myself ahead. I am also going to delist and stock take a few things and put them on auction to clear them through. And I'm also going to see if I can find some more job lots of Lego on eBay, because yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I will be back for another update next week. Goodbye. Adieu. Sorry for no, well, there was frogs this morning, but I'm over here now with a load of cans of food. So I'm going to put this away and crack on with work. Goodbye. Thank you. Code word for the comments is food warehouse. Not really. The password should be Bananas was shocking. Right, anyway, I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again soon.